Welcome to my guide about Lulu, as well as about some aspects that are important for the support role. Lulu is a great pick for anyone who is struggling against assassins and divers and who wants to make their ADC really strong with multiple buffs and protection. She is a great OTP champion as well as blind pick because she can deal with any situation as long as you build and play her properly, which you will learn in this guide. Why should you play a Lulu, you ask? She fulfills the support role really well because she can do multiple things. She brings a lot of tools to protect her team, as well as enable them to make aggressive plays, can have lane control if she isn't heavily outranged, but still scales really well, doesn't have any unwinnable matchups if you learn to play her properly, and now, her roaming potential is pretty good for an enchanter, and she counters the current bursty meta since she is amazing against assassins as well as any divers. Are you tired of losing because Fed Yasuo goes 1v5? Just pick Lulu and turn them into an adorable squirrel. You will make it really difficult for your main carry to die, which brings me to my next point. She empowers her ADC like no other enchanter, but she is generally better for protecting only one champion. Sure, you can shield your ADC and ult your top laner, but with experience, I noticed that buffing almost exclusively one person is better. Which means she's amazing when you have a duo partner. Does this sound appealing to you? Then you should definitely pick her up with the help of my guide. First, let's look at her skill. Picks, Fairy Companion, passive. Companion Picks fires a barrage of 3 bolts that deal magic damage at whatever Lulu attacks. These bolts can be blocked by other units if Picks is casted to an ally, the attacks come from their .if to the enemies. The enemy is revealed glitter lens. Lulu and Picks each fires a piercing bolt that deals magic damage to the first enemy hit and 70% damage to additional enemies. Enemies hit are slowed by 80%, decaying over the next 2 seconds. Glitterlance, Skill 1. Picks and Lulu each fire a flash of magical energy that significantly slows all enemies hit. An enemy can only be damaged by 1 bolt. Fantasy, Skill 2. If cast at an ally, grants them attack speed and movement speed for a short time. If cast at an enemy, transforms them into a lovable creature that cannot attack or cast spells. Help, Picks. Skill 3. If cast at an ally, orders Picks to jump to an ally and protect them. He then follows them and helps with their attacks. If thrown at an enemy, orders Picks to jump on an enemy and damage them. He then follows them and grants you sight of that enemy. Wild Growth, Skill 4. Ultimate. Lulu enlarges an ally, knocking nearby enemies into the air and granting them a significant health bonus. For the next few seconds, this ally gains an aura that slows nearby enemies. What skills do I level up as Lulu in Wild Rift? Level up Help, Picks. Help at level 1, and then you will continue leveling Help, Picks, until it's maxed. After that, you can start leveling up Whimsy followed by Glitterlance. Now, let's look at her build in Runes and Summoner. Spell. The best runes for Lulu in Wild Rift is the Summonary, followed by the Champion, Loyalty, and Pack Hunter. Minor runes. The best summoner spell for Lulu is Flash and Igniter Exhaust. Slows a target by 30% and reduces its damage by 40%. Exhaust is the spell I like to pick as support when I'm against assassins or heavy damage dealers like Master Yi. Remember that you can't slow him with Exhaust if he's ulting, Xin Zhao and so on. I can use it to engage or disengage. It's great against almost everyone really, but I take Ignite when I know that I will be playing aggressive or if the enemy team has a Dr. Mundo or champs like that. I would recommend to take this even if you don't trust your support skills yet. What items do I build on Lulu in Wild Rift? The best items to build on Lulu in Wild Rift are support items to enable your dragon lane carry, either through shielding, healing or simply providing peel. The first item to build should be Protector's Vow, and then second, you will want to complete your Aeonian Boots of Lucidity with a redeeming enchant, and to finish up your core item build will be Ardent Censer. Best item build vs AD Assassin Champion's Protector's Vow, Aeonian Boots of Lucidity, Ardent Censer, Athene's Unholy Grail, Harmonic Echo, Randuin Zoman, Redeeming Enchant. Best item build vs AP Champions Ardent Censer, Aeonian Boots of Lucidity, Protector's Vow, Athene's Unholy Grail, Harmonic Echo, Adaptive Helm, Locket Enchant. Best item build vs Tank Champions Ardent Censer, Aeonian Boots of Lucidity, Protector's Vow, Athene's Unholy Grail, Harmonic Echo, Adaptive Helm, Redeeming Enchant. This were all the builds and let's look at pros and cons of Lulu. Pros of Lulu. Can be blind picked. Scales well. Good for duo Q. Amazing peel. Unmatched single target protection. Can both engage with help of allies or disengage. Amazing against assassins and divers, can shut down a fed carry like Yasuo. Good laugh spam. Item and rune diversity. Can use E on enemy to grant true sight, good versus stealth. Good at fixing bad positioning. Makes the ADC role more fun, Lulu who peels for ADC is their wet dream. Good roaming potential for an enchanter. Cons of Lulu. Consumes mana really fast when aggressive in lane. Struggles against long-range champions both in lane and in game. Doesn't have the best synergy with every bot laner, best with attack speed ADCs. Peel becomes slightly worse if ADC, or other attack speed based carry, is behind because it's better for attack speed champions. No sustain without renewer. Squishy. Needs a frontliner to work at her full potential. If everyone in your team is behind, you can't make aggressive plays. Lulu is weak against this champions. Blitzcrank. Try to stay behind minions, never behind or ahead your ADC. I have experienced too many times being grabbed because I was staying behind my ADC and he dodged the grab that hit me. Can be a cancer playing against him, be careful. Soraka. Hard lane for Lulu, her heals make your poke useless. Try to poke her a lot before she hits 6, and if you're in draft mode ranked, take ignite instead of exhaust. If she's a good Soraka, she'll stay behind in every moment. Braum. Annoying. He has that annoying shield that blocks your Q and W, be careful when you get hit by his Q, try to poke him when he gets closer to take minions or W him. Don't even try to poke him, it would be useless. Seraphine. I find it pretty hard to lane against a good Seraphine because she outranges me and heal herself and her ADC, so my poke is pretty much useless. Try to play it defensively, if she engages with her empowered E, try to polymorph her or her ADC. Lulu synergy with champions. Ashe. Ashe is a squishy ADC and cannot peel herself, this will be our job. She may seem weak in early levels if she plays passively, but she can melt enemies' life. She has no mobility, so we can speed her up with whimsy when needed, like when she activates her Q or just to run away without wasting her ultimate. Try to keep enemies away from her so she can farm safely in lane and wait for her to engage. There are so many things that could happen in that engage that I can't even do an example. Lol. You can speed her up and give her attack speed to make her Q proc faster, or polymorph their ADC to save Ashe from some damage. A decent Ashe will never be out of position because she can die so easily. Protect her with everything you have and shield her in teamfight for Ardent Censor's passive. Jinx. Jinx is the hyper carry I adore. Try to get her fed in early game and she will be a super mega death bringer. She gains mobility only from her passive and her only self-peel is her E. If she catches an enemy with her traps, wait 1 to 2 seconds and use Glitterlance on him and WE on Jinx, granting her movement speed to follow up and bonus damage from picks. If you see that she's throwing her super mega death rocket around the map, use a skill on her so you might get some assists. However, do what you can to save Jinx, die for her if it's needed. Kai'Sa. From what I experienced, this is a great lane. Kai'Sa doesn't have much range, 525, so she can take a lot of damage from enemies in lane, so she needs your peel. You can decide what to do between playing defensively and protect her or staying in front of her poking enemies with your skills. In teamfights she will probably jump in the enemy team with her ultimate, so you must be fast and ult her, even if she's not low on health. If enemies turn around on her, you can knock up them all with your ultimate and give Kai'Sa the time to kill her prayer to escape. Use flash to ult her if you don't get in range fast enough, it's damn worth it if she gets kills. I have a lot of fun when I have a Kai'Sa on my team. What champions are strong against Lulu in Wild Rift? Champions that Lulu is strongest against are Lux, Annie and Ez. How do I play my bot lane matchup? Look at the enemy ADC and support, and then at you and your ADC. Think about what you should be doing in lane, what abilities do you need to watch out for, how aggressive you can be, stuff like that. You can also use my guide to help you with this question, since I provided some tips for both support matchups and ADC synergies. What kind of jungler am I facing, and what kind of jungler do I have? This is very important for the laning phase, since you need to know what kind of ganks can you expect from both junglers. It will also help you with wards, since if you figure out what kind of ganks might come, you will know what wards will be useful against them. For example, against Nunu, you will need a deep river ward, so you know he's coming before it's too late. If you are facing someone who can LVL2 gank you, be careful. If you know enemy jungler started on top side and won't gank top or mid LVL2, you can expect him in the bot lane around 3 minutes. Of course you will adapt your play to where the enemy jungle shows, but having a general idea is very good. For example, if you know you have a jungler like Master Yi who won't really gank you and enemies have Zac who haven't been on the map for a long time, maybe it's time to play a bit more passive until you know you are safe. How can I influence mid lane with roaming? You will always roam to help your jungler and put some better wards, but knowing how the mid lane matchup goes can be very helpful. For example, if you know your mid laner can snowball and win lane, you can help him. Check out the roaming part of this guide. But you can also analyze that the enemy has someone who will be able to get on you as soon as you show up and kill you. That could put your mid at disadvantage, and you don't want that. You will see whether you can gank your mid or not as the game goes, and one of the mid laners gets ahead, but having a general idea about it is useful. Thanks for watching.